It's been all serious all week. Fucking Blizz, give me something fun to talk about, you bastards. Give me something fun. That's all I ask. Give me something fun. Give me something to think about that doesn't make me go, why? Why? Why do you do that? Why do you do that, Blizz? Why? Just release something that's funny and cool. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. I don't want to read fucking blog posts this big about how hard it is for you to create a mount. I don't want to read that. I don't know. Well, you know, mounts take a hell of a lot of time and we held it back and it's all good. It's all good. I don't want to read that. We want fun stuff. Just want fun stuff. That's all we want. Secondary stats being shaken up. Really? Oh my god. The boots of a socket, and they have good stats, and they're warforged. Really? That's what we're doing. Mounts so hard we had to draw them, and then they even went. There's so many more polygons though, bros. For reals though. There's so many more. Way more polygons than normal. Who gives a shit? I don't. Make it a big block. Make a Minecraft mount. I'd be down with that. Make a Minecraft mount. I don't give a fuck. The booties. So good. That's not why you're here today. Tomorrow is a web show. I will be honest with you. I've pulled 2 stories out that I've been reading today that I've saved for the web show. Because, reasons. I suggest you be there if you're into the more risque of the drama stories. But today's not that day. Today's the day where we're introducing some prostitution, right? Little bit. Tiny, really. Not a lot. It's not a whorehouse, okay? It's not a whorehouse. It's not Game of Thrones. It's not. A little bit of prostitution. A little tiny bit. But also some fun stuff to throw on top of the fire and make things on. So a nice, cozy Friday afternoon, because it's Friday afternoon, at least here in the UK. Which means work has generally come to an end. Your hard week, and now you can sit your ass down and play some video games or play with your kids, do whatever you want to do. Because that's what the weekend's all about. So, I'm going to kick off. I need a DK. Who's in there? I have seen a name, but I'm not going to use it yet. I'll save it for tomorrow. Who's got a DK-ish name? And you know what that means. I need more hashtags and deaths. Bloodkrieger. Easy. Bloodkrieger. I'm a DK. Bloodkrieger. So we're going to go with DK. We're going to go with Bloodkrieger. Bloodkrieger has a tendency to do things in a weird way. He's a raid leader. Is Bloodkrieger. He's a raid leader. That's what he's all about. Now, what I've got here is I've got like several short stories and then kind of a biggie one. So it's going to be kind of fun. We're going to whiz through a few of these to get to the big one, all right? You ready? You ready for the ride? We're going for a ride. Join me on the fun ride. Here we go. Hello, Preacher. This is a short story. My first raiding experience in Wrath of the Lich King. The story begins off with me reaching max level on my hunter. But when I got to max level, I didn't know what the fuck to do. Gear score, son. I didn't know how to do anything at all. Should I PvP, PvE? I whispered my uncle and asked him what the fuck is he up to. He said he's getting gear to get ready for raiding. He asked if I wanted to gear with him. I said yes. Yes, I shall gear with you. I didn't know what raiding was. So he said he would show me at his house because he had a raid coming up that night. I will show you raiding. I will show you the meaning of Christmas. I got all my things I would need to stay over at his house. Whoa. Now, you jumped the gun a little bit there. I'd be a little pissed off if you turned up with all your stuff. I got all my things I would need to stay over at his house and my computer so I had something to do while I was there. My mum dropped me off at his house and I spent the day getting everything hooked up. A little while later, he called me into his room so I could watch them raid. They were going to raid Ice Crown Citadel. But they were missing some deeps. So my uncle said that he knew a hunter. He knew a hunter that would like to come, which was me. The raid leader, Blood Krieger, said, sure, fine, invite him. So I went to the living room to log on. I got the invite as soon as I came online and got summoned to the raid. The raid leader picked up the other DPS that they needed from trade chat. Yes, preacher, trade chat. You don't know what a raid is. You can't put that in your story like, oh, then we invited trade chat. You don't know what a raid is. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you joking that you put that? Yeah, we picked up trade chat DPS. You don't know what a raid is. You don't even know what's going on. You don't know what ICC is. You've no fucking idea. Yet you're bullying trade chat DPS. Ballsy is all I'm going to say. Freaking ballsy as fuck. When we got into the raid, Blood Krieger had a tendency to use ready check a lot. He did it for everything. Food buffs, ready check. Got your food buff, ready check. Click yes if you've got your food buff. Flasks, ready check. Anything. Even ready checks for the final ready check. This is the preemptive ready check before the final ready check that we're going to do. Alright? We're about to ready check to pull, so this is the ready check to check if you're ready for the final ready check. Are you fucking joking? You bunch of noobs. As you can imagine, this took a while. But finally, the last ready check was done. And we were ready to clear the trash. Are you ready? You ready? Ready for the trash? The trash was a total disaster. I remember thinking that ICC must be super hard. Tanks kept pulling and too many ads and patrolling ads kept walking into us. But we finally reached the first boss, Lord Morogar. He looked so cool. He is cool. Lord Morogar is very cool. Ready check. Ready check if he's cool. Ready check. Think. He was so cool to me because he was made out of bones and holding a giant axe. Yeah, pretty cool. As usual, we spent about 10 minutes getting ready because Blood Krieger would ready check after announcing a mechanic. Everybody get that? Ready check. Yeah? Okay, it's going to do the spin. Ready check. Everybody get that? Got the spin? Ready check. Ready check. Click if you know the spin. Alright. Someone's going to get impaled. Ready check. You ready? You ready? Are you listening? Are you fucking listening? Ready check. Are you listening? Click if you're listening. It took us a few pulls, but Lord Morogar fell. Blood Krieger linked all the loot in raid chat, and I saw that the mail belt had dropped, and I wanted it. When he got to the mail belt, all the mail wearers rolled for it. The raid leader, who was not the DK, also uses mail gear. I won the roll out of everyone, but then there was a pause. I then saw Blood Krieger roll for it. DK. And his roll beat mine. So the raid leader gave the loot to him. I raged in raid chat saying, what the fuck? DKs don't use mail gear as their primary gear. Raid leader didn't say anything. So I inspected Blood Krieger to see if he was wearing it. He wasn't. So I whispered Blood Krieger and asked him, what did you do with the belt? He said he'd given it to the raid leader. Best way of ninjaing ever. If in doubt, just have all your friends roll, regardless of class and spec. And if they win, just give it to them and say, hey, they won the roll, right? They won the roll. And then you just trade them. It's genius. Because the rules said at the beginning, highest roll wins, right? So technically, we're not breaking any rules. It's genius. It's genius. It's the best way to do it. I was so upset. I had won the roll and deserved the loot. After a while, the raid leader whispered me and said that Blood Krieger had won the roll, so he gets to get the belt. I replied saying, Blood Krieger isn't even using it. He told me he traded it to you. The raid leader told me to shut the fuck up. Shut up! He said, I shouldn't be worried about it because Blood Krieger won the roll and it's his choice what he does with the loot. Right? Seems fair, guys. I don't understand what your problem is. I don't understand. It's... How do you get out of it? You can't, right? He's got all the angles covered. It's so good. I left the raid shortly after this and just went to watch my uncle do the raid with them. The raid leader did this several times with loot if he didn't win it. He got random people in the raid to roll, and if they won, he'd give it to them and then trade them afterwards. I said, why do people stay in the raid? And my uncle said this was a dead realm. And this is how the raids go. I never raided with them again because that raid leader was a shit player and stole all the loot that he could. I never heard from the guild again. Genius! That's how we ninja! Any other way you're doing it, you're doing it wrong. Right. I need lots of people for this one. This one, I've got a way shorter one, I think. Hold on. I think I skipped it. No, okay, we'll do this one. This one's called How I Became a Team 3 Raider. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. How I reached that level of Team 3. Right, we'll have Rosk, Flix, we'll have Alicia, we'll have Sock, and our elitist of the story shall be Danny the Pally. Danny, right, that's it. Danny, right, okay, how I became a Group 3 Raider. Genius. Hello, Preacher. I'm coming to you from the land of freedom. Been playing WoW since mid-BC. After getting enthralled by watching my oldest brother work his Warlock through Blackrock Depths to get his first epic mount. The dungeon looks so amazing, Blackrock Depths, that I was sold then and there. Which bit of Blackrock Depths looks amazing? I don't know. The Emperor's Room. The Emperor's Trash Room's pretty good. Around Christmas time, my older brother and I put some cash together to buy the battle chest. We took the discs home and began installing it on my brother's old laptop that struggled to do simple activities such as open Internet Explorer. Due to this fact, the installation and patching process took roughly 2 days. 2 days. To install World of Warcraft Battle Chest. 2 days. Jesus. The anticipation was building. So our oldest brother let us each make a character on his account. I had no idea what to choose, so me and my angst chose the same class as my oldest brother. The Undead Warlock. The small taste I had playing him was enough to sustain me until the installation was done on my brother's laptop. I first created an undead rogue, but after I was bored of waiting for my health to regenerate after combat, I eventually settled on my true love, the paladin. Are you suggesting that you stood there and waited for your health to tick up? Because that's amazing. After every fight, well, I'm going to wait here now until my health comes back to full. If only there was a way of recovering health. If only. This class is terrible. Awful class. I created my Blelf Paladin and began my WoW experience. To give a little background info, I was about 10 years old when I started to play. And with the in-game quest helper, and without the in-game quest helper, I was lost as to what I was supposed to do. This led to me leveling extremely slowly through mob grinding and small opening quests in zones with easy objectives. Around the time I hit level 15, my oldest brother offered to run me through Ragefire Chasm. When that first boss died and that blue text appeared on my screen, I knew this game was better than anything I could have obtained at this point. Ragefire Chasm. Boom. When Wrath hit, my brother and I bought the expansion and took it home to begin the installation. 8 hours later, we were ready to go. My brother instantly created a Death Knight and played the whole first day. My hours of leveling my paladin had put me at level 32. But the endless grinding had gotten to me. And slowly I began to play less and less, while my brother played more and more. He started raiding on his hunter eventually. But a debacle with loot in Obsidian Sanctum soured his experience with WoW, and he gave up. The Cataclysm. And my oldest brother decided to reinvent his WoW account and went Alliance. I joined him, reopened my WoW account and began fresh on the new server. Playing on the PC I had used for school, a significant upgrade from my laptop. Wow, family PC upgrade. My human paladin soared through the levels as the new in-game quest helper and LFD allowed me to experience content I never knew existed. After 3 weeks, I had done what I could not do in over a year previously. I reached level cap on my pally after waiting 40 minutes. On a dungeon queue. For a group that fell apart before the first boss, I decided I was to become a tank. Yes! Yes! Now, sometime around this decision, my computer began to run into some technical issues. Isn't it always the way, when you can't get away with it as much, that suddenly your PC runs into issues? Have you ever noticed that? You ever noticed that that guy who was pretty shitty and is now an important role suddenly has technical issues on a regular basis that you didn't notice previously? Isn't it strange? How bizarre! How very bizarre! What a coincidence. What a coinkydink. I did not know at the time, but my video card had suffered internal damage and would randomly drop to 1 frame per second for about 20 minutes. What's your FPS? 1. 1 FPS, that's right. After a week or so, I finally geared up to do heroic dungeons. No! Well, I'm going to tank your heroic dungeons with my 1 FPS. It's going to be fine, guys. It's going to be fine. It's going to be all good. I'm not giving up. I don't believe... I've thought about it, and I don't believe it's unfair that I should still do group content with 1 FPS as a tank. I think if you complain about it, in fact, you guys are dickheads. And you're being unfair to me and my broken video card. I signed onto YouTube and watched some Towley. He had videos up on add-ons to use for tanking. That's what you need, more add-ons. Slam it on. Slam on the cream. Put the cream on the cake. Had some add-ons for tanking as well as tips and guidelines. I followed his advice and slowly I began to overcome my problems and clear out some hard heroics without dying once. I did a heroic today without dying once. Yeah, I'll have you know. I will have you know that I did Uncat heroic today and didn't die once. Yeah? Yeah? So fuck yous. It's a fuck yous, right? I'm a fucking badass. I'm a total badass these days. That's right. Around the time of the Firelands, I convinced my dad to take my computer to the shop, get it checked. Within minutes, they were able to tell me that your video card was internally damaged. It's like they opened it up and they went, it's not a video card. It's a remote control for a TV. This isn't even a video card. Are you joking? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? This is not a video card. This is a used diaper. That's what it is, okay? This thing is dead. Kill it. Let it go away. They managed to work it out within minutes. What a good shop. I like it. I like it. And a new one should be installed. Oh, God. Your dad's a computer noob, isn't he? Your dad's a computer noob. And he's about to be talked into buying a graphics card by people who work in a PC repair shop. You know, we've got a GTX 460 here. Discounted. Oh, it's really good. You know, it's GTX. GTX. You know what that means? Turbo fast. Turbo fast. Yeah? What you want? No. What you want is this NVIDIA GTX 460. It's amazing. Listen to all the letters that come with it. There you go. There you go. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. There you go, Daddy. You're all going to be good. when my computer came back, I was able to run WoW at a steady 30 FPS on the lowest settings. When 4.3 hit, I made the decision to attempt raiding. I'm now ready to raid. You're the guy who has to turn projected textures on. Who are you guys? You're all out there. Guys, don't forget to turn your projected textures on because your graphic settings are so bad you can't see the mechanics of the fight. Who are you? You're out there. You know you've heard that and you've had to go in and turn it on. Got to turn your projected textures on, haven't you? Yeah? Got to do it. Because those are the mechanics of the fight that you're actually turning off. That's how bad your system is. That's how bad your system is. You're actually turning it off. When 4.3 hit, I decided I was going to raid. Joined the guild. That, unknown to me, was one of the top 3 on the server. Top 3 on the server. They cleared normal. They cleared normal within the first week. But slowly the guild began to fall apart, becoming a shell of what it used to be. In the meantime, I had finally managed to pug a few Dragon Soul groups. And eventually, I managed to kill Deathwing on normal. Which is cool. Well played. One night, my GM, Rosk, projected text is right here. Look there. I've been there. One night, my GM, Ross, put in guild chat, looking for one more deeps for madness. I offered to go and was invited. We started on Sarah's platform, and while running over to Nosdomi's platform, my character fell right on through the platform when the winds that were supposed to push you to the next platform decided it needed a break. I've been there. Nothing worse than doing heroic Deathwing and you suddenly fall through the world. I sighed sadness as the group managed to salvage the attempt and kill him. Girthalak, voice of the deeps, dropped. But I didn't roll on it, baller, as I didn't feel I deserved it. Baller. No, it's okay. And watched as it went over to be disenchanted after the raid. Really? No one wants this? Really? No one wants this. No one wants it? Fine, DE. Oh. I woke up the next day to find myself guildless, kicked, gone, out of there. I couldn't believe that one small mistake that I couldn't have helped had led me to be kicked. I whispered one of the officers who was online, asking how I could have been kicked. Sadly, he told me that Ross was about to stop playing and had kicked everyone from the guild. Whew. That's cool. Took 100,000 gold out of the G-Bank and proceeded to spend it all on mounts. I don't want to call you a liar saying you're going to quit the game. But if you're going to quit the game, why would you buy yourself a lot of mounts? Just saying. I went back to the drawing board in my attempt to raid. Eventually, I found a guild for recruits for their raid groups. I was put into a raid group. Not group 1, though. Not group 2. But I was put into group 3. This didn't concern me as the group was clearing normal mode every week. And they said that soon we would be going to heroic. Soon we will go to heroic. And get TeamSpeak and our own tabard. It's going to be pretty awesome. Just hang around. Team 3 is going places. The GM was called Flix. And one of the guild's better healers. Oh, Alicia. Oh, okay. Group 3 hype. Alicia, who had recently left Group 1 due to problems with their raid leader, Sock. Oh my god, Sock, what did you do? What did you do? I want to know. I had already gleaned through Talking Vent that that Sock was an angry Cuban that was known for shouting over Vent. Hey! With his cigar. With his Total Castro cigar. Hey! Was known for shouting over Vent for the smallest problems and occasionally would be unable to play for weeks at a time due to the fact that he and his brother were in jail for assorted small crimes. Now that's a raid leader. Right? That's a raid leader. He fucking loves that shit. I can't raid tonight in prison. Sorry. Sorry, jail. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. In jail. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I was a little anxious. I was a little anxious, remembering the smallest problems, and occasionally would be... Sorry. I find that really funny that people have to take time off to go to prison. We cleared 3 out of 8 heroic, but hit a brick wall on Zonos. Wow. Eventually, Group 1 needed a DPS for heroical Traxian. And Flix urged them to take me, saying that my DPS should be enough to compete in Group 1. I strongly believe that if I showed my stuff, I would be able to be a permanent member of Group 1. This was my first experience in Vent with the Cuban leader, Sock. I was anxious, remembering how my last attempt at showing my skills had gone off with my last skill, but decided I would give it a try. This is when history decided to repeat itself. We're about to pull Ultraxian when I scrolled over his hitbox with my mouse and right-clicked. Normally this wasn't a problem, as most mobs had tiny hitboxes that matched up with their character model. And it also made my guy look like he was ready to kick ass. That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say they right-click the boss to draw their weapon and look ready to go. That's fucking funny. I've never heard of it. Why do you do that? So I look ready to go. Because my character gets his swag on, right? He gets jiggly. Unfortunately, Ultraxian had quite a large hitbox. I could be hit by melee from 20 yards away. In horror, I see my paladin swinging his sword, and small white text appears on the screen showing the amount of auto-attack damage. Vent exploded as I was one-shot, and then Ultraxian one-shotted our healer. Sock began to relentlessly lay into me, saying that I belonged with the scrubs and the dirt in Group 3. Before I had even been rezzed, I was removed from the raid. Didn't even get a res! Didn't even get a res! Out! You're out! You're fucking out! This is how we rock in Cuba. This is how Cuba deals with it. You're out! You fucking belong with them Group 3 peasants! Get out of here! Weeks had gone by. Weeks had gone by. And Group 1 had decided to recruit a new player instead of using me again. A rep paladin called Danny. Now, Danny was a total elitist that bragged about his damage in guild chat, linked every boss fight where he was number 1, didn't link any boss fights where he wasn't number 1, and even went as far as to belittle those in other raid groups if they weren't as far progressed as Group 1. If you're not sure who this guy is, he's the guy who clearly has a damage meter and then goes, anybody got the damage meter from that last boss? No reason, just would like somebody else. I don't know what damage I did. So I'd be appreciative if one of you could post it into the raid chat so I can check my deeps. And oh look, I'm number 1. And oh look, I'm number 1. Yeah? Anybody got Scarda? Anybody got Scarda? Anybody? Anybody lick damage from last boss? Just checking, yeah? Fucking assholes, man. One night I saw a post in trade chat. Looking for more. For the Alliance. Need all. As I had yet to kill the Horde faction leaders, I joined hoping this group would get it done in one night. A few minutes later, though, Sock and Danny joined the group. They started calling me out in raid chat, saying that I was a waste of a raid slot, and to be put a person in my slot that could do more than kill everybody else in the group. Guildies forever, right? Guildies forever. We're guildies, right? We're still teammates, right? Kick that guy from our raid who's a member of our guild. Remove him. Eventually we made it to the Undersea, which would be our first place of conquest. Before the pull, though, Danny was running his mouth on how he was going to blow everybody out of the water in damage. We butted heads on our damage done to Sylvanas, with me taking a narrow victory. Danny said, it's because he wasn't even trying. Not even trying. It's fucking not even trying. And the next fight, he would smoke me. Yeah? I'll smoke you next fight. Not even trying. Try hard. What are you trying hard for? What are you trying hard for? We went on to defeat Oh, I'm going to get it wrong. Nobble's going to hate me. Lorthamar. And Bane with the same result of me coming up. Top in damage. It was on our way to Orgrimmar. When Danny convinced Sock to join in on bashing me. By this point, I was done with the constant insults and began to devise a plan for when we got to Garrosh. Danny was known for doing incredible burst damage, higher than my own. So when we pulled, I used Hand of Salvation on Sock, who was tanking, and watched as Garrosh killed Danny in one swing. Danny exploded on Sock, telling him that he was a shit tank. You're a shit tank, and if you couldn't do that, if you couldn't even keep aggro, you should uninstall the game. You should uninstall. Sock went off on a Cuban rant. A Cuban rant. Eventually, both of them left the guild to go to different guilds. That's right. When Cuba, the immovable object, hits the elitist of the Ret Paladin, that's the unstoppable force. That's when worlds collide. Nobody was actually sad to see either of them gone. Come Bop, I began to fully understand the game and work myself up to a high-quality raider. And quality pressing through mythic Blackrock Foundry will always be remember the troubles I had to overcome to get to this point. Well played, sir! We like it. Right, how are we looking on time? Let's have a little look, see? Alright, oh, we're good. It's only past. This is awesome, man. We're keeping good pace. Good pace, team. Let's keep it up. Right, so we need ladies. Ladies. We need a Mexican. I already got a name in mind for that. So don't worry about that. We need a crazy bitch. There's a lot of girls in this, and it's not looking fondly girls. Remember, I didn't write it. Okay. Oh, 4 guilds. Well, I'll name the 4 guilds as we go. Right. So, Team Mexico will be Frankie. Katie, or well, it's like Kitty, but Katie. We'll put you in there. And I need one more girly. Who's got a girly name? Girly name. Ace Johnson. Not quite a girly name, but I'll remember it. Fancy Pants time. Fancy Pants. I'm just going to go with Fancy Pants. Right. Excuse me. Oh, we will get well one day. Right then. This one's just called The Cataclysm. Okay? It's a little bit of fun. A little bit of fun. You ready? We got some crazy ladies in there. We're all going to be fine and dandy. Let's have a little swiggles. I started playing WoW when I was 15. Around the beginning of Wrath. You wrote Wrath of the Lich King. It's the Wrath of the Lich King. After one of my RL friends who had recently moved back to England because of her dad's work, talked me into it. She, of course, had been playing since the vanilla because of her brothers no-lifing the shit out of WoW. So I begged my parents for that dollar bill. Story's written. This story's written in a really weird way, so I'm going to exaggerate the shit out of it. Alright, I'm just putting that. So I had to beg my parents for that dollar bill to get my WoW career started. It surprisingly worked. My dad went into a game store on the last day of my year 10 fall semester exams, bought the game. I was set, came home from school, and for the first time did not feel the urge to play my PS3. Instead, I made some intense 15-year-old research on how to be a good WoW player. I came across some beef websites, which taught me a lot about the game, but knowing WoW is never enough. My dad came home with the CDs in the game, and game time, my 15-year-old self squeaked with happiness. Squeaked with happiness. And I was ready to become a WoW player. I was surprised at how the game was installed on my Windows 98 PC, never forget, 2015. For it, my friend, was an absolute potato. I logged into the character selection screen and was baffled by the variety of options. My first thought was to Skype my friend in England. Oh my god, what do I do? As it's written. She explained classes briefly. You don't understand classes in a video game. Onwards. and said she would forever call me a little bitch and a wank stain if I picked Alliance. She's right. And she had to go offline from there. That was her final message. By the way, if you go Alliance, I will call you a little bitch and a wank stain. I like this girl. She's got moxie. I looked at the horde races and decided that I would be a female undead priest. Ah, well, somebody's got to do it, apparently. You are a bit of a little bitch. And a wank stain. Alright. Not knowing much about the game other than the general info I read on websites and the stuff my friend had told me, I quested and grinded my way to 80 as a dis priest. Over the course of 2 weeks. I'm going to level as dis priest. I had to visit Google a billion times to know where to level at every 5 to 10 levels. I had to get general information. My friend logged into the game one day and saw I was a level 80 priest. So she whispered me, "What spec are you?" To clarify, that's not what spec are you. That is, of course, as we're talking in this story. Spec are you, though? What spec are you? I said, disco, disco, baby! Of course you did. Disco, disco, baby. So I got a group invite that already had 4 people in it. Me being the 5th, making 5. And zoned into the dungeon. I have no recollection of what dungeon it was, but I believe it was either Utgard Pinnacle or Utgard Keep. My computer took 10 minutes to load the map. But I made it. I was told I was supposed to be the healer. The tank began pulling trash packs, but I was so amazed at the intensity of Utgard Pinnacle. Like, oh my god, Utgard Pinnacle. Shit. The intensity of Utgard Pinnacle that he died. A burst of rage came out saying stuff like, "What the fuck, noob? Learn to heal?" And other hurtful things. That hurts me. Learn to L to heal. I ignored it and was focused on healing the tank. He came back from the graveyard, I healed him back to full, and then he pulled. I tried everything in my hands to keep him up, but he died again. So the same trash pack. I then got a Skype call. My friend on her enhancement shaman was yelling at me, asking what the fuck I was doing. I said, "Sorry, yo, I panicked." She then told me I can't heal dungeons wearing level 60 greens and not using talents. I said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out," and left the game with a broken dream of being a legend. And that was that, right? That was that. Yeah, I'm not using talents, and I'll wear whatever the fuck I want. If I want to wear some level 60 greens because they look swag, that's what I'm going to wear. So I left the game. Game over. Utgard Pinnacle. Crush my WoW career. But chapter 2, though, the Cataclysm, coming back, though. Around the same time of the year, end of the fall semester exams, 2010, my friend taught me into playing WoW. She tempted me with new questing zones, more flying mounts, and other stuff that sounded amazing on paper. I'm 17 now. Of course I had a nerd boner over that. I broke my piggy bank, 17. I broke my piggy bank and went out to the game store to buy the Cataclysm. Because at this point, my dad would not allow me to use his credit card for my history of purchasing illegal substances over the internet. I put my Wrath of the Lich King failure behind me, decided I was going to be serious about the game this time. If she has been playing since she was 6, why can't I stick around, I thought. I set out to level my priest to 85, but did not quite like how Shadow or Discipline played in Cataclysm, so I made and leveled an Orc Death Knight called I'm Coming Blood. Annihilating and obliterating through the starting zone, I fell in love with my DK. I reached 85 within 3 sleepless days, and I was ready to follow the road of legends. Normal dungeons. Yeah, I skipped over that name. So you can... I was waiting. Normal dungeons, that is. I remember my first dungeon being Vortex Pinnacle. I remember speccing carefully into blood, and me rolling 100 on the mount dropping on the second boss. I would say I tanked alright for my first time ever, but I was total shit. I decided to continue playing, but only in PvP as a Frost DK. Yeah. Got to 2600 rating in 2s with my friend playing her enhancement shaman. What do they call that? Skill cleave? Enhancement shaman Frost DK? Skill cleave, right? I also did a few dungeons here and there until I got full heroic dungeon blues. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You guys, cynical. Cynical. I got full heroic dungeon blues. Yeah? I'm going to regret that. Okay. I decided it was time to try raiding. I joined a guild run as a pug with my friend. Don't remember the name though. Blackwing Descent it was. And I fell in love with everything. The well-designed walls and floors. Each trash mob. The bosses. The elevator of doom. Oh yeah. And the general hype of 10 people on TeamSpeak. Oh! Ah! There was 10 people on TeamSpeak. Ah! It was amazing. It's like a party. 10 people in one channel. Amazing. Oh my god, can you imagine what it'd be like to be on a fucking chat call with 10 people? I was explaining the tactics before each pull. Did alright, other than dying on Magmar because hunters didn't kite the ads properly. And accidentally clicking the chain. Not my fault though, right? I then decided I want to do this every week. I want to die to this chain every week. I love it. I fucking love it. I want to die to this every single week. Every week. I joined my friend's guild and raided with that alt raid. And when a member of Team 2 wasn't able to show up, you are Team 2 bench. Yeah? Hooah! Team 2 bench. I'm going to have to wear the hat for the whole story. Because we're Team 2 bench now. Shit! Team 2 bench. Yeah? But I loved it. Patch 4.2 is coming closer with a new PvP season and a new raiding tier, Firelands. So I took a break until then. That's really uncomfortable. The Firelands are my first G kick. First G kick. After I come back to the game, I saw the guild I was raiding in was disbanded. And I got a whisper from my friend telling me how we got to step up our game, son, in this PvP season. But I wanted to raid more than anything. I saw a guild had posted their recruitment macro in global, swag, so I logged their website and made an app. Took me 2 hours to fill in raid boss mechanics that I did not know of. What? Oh, you researched them while you were writing the app? I totally know what this boss does. A Google. A Google. I got this. I got this. I got the email saying I was accepted and was to whisper an officer for an invite. I whispered one and got in as a trial. Spent the whole morning looking up Firelands fights on YouTubes. And luckily enough, there was a raid being held that fine Sunday afternoon. So I joined on my Frost DK. I thought I was ready to fuck some Firelands arsehole. As soon as I stepped in the raid, I saw the raid chat flooded with people saying, bruh, look at his gear though. Look at his gear though. Bruh, gear score, bruh. And lol, go back to... Your gear is Totes 4.06. Oh, yeah, I went there. Totes 4.06. What are you wearing? 4.06. Nice. Loser. Fuck off. And other mean things. I ignored them and moved on to the trash packs. The guild waited and waited, saying go, go, go a couple of times. Until the GM whispered me saying, go tank lol. I said that wrong. Go tonk lol. Lel? I don't know how to pronounce it. There's no point in you guys typing it to me either, but this is what was said. Go tonk lol. Go tonk lol. Lol. I said I'm not geared, yo, but he said it's alright, I'm only a trial. I was about to prove myself. Pulled the first Molten Giant, and it died. Moved on to the Nagas, and wiped the whole raid after an embarrassing death. I shammy yanked to mass res, but the GM told me to go deeps, as he will tank. We moved on to Balrog, and I was determined on poning da deeps. Poning da deeps. I was the 3rd out of 25 on recount after a fire mage and an arms warrior. We kept moving up each boss. and I was getting more loot than I needed because the guild already had Firelands normal on farm and was progressing on heroic with the core group. We got to Raggy. I was amazed at the boss emerging from his lava jacuzzi. The tank pulled, and I fucked up a couple of times on the fight, but I was alive though, didn't die. The guild leading officers told me I would get loot from Raggy only because no one else needs it, and it takes more time to disenchant than just to give it to me. I was almost fully geared as a tank and dripping in epics in Frost Spec after 2 or 3 more guild raids. One night though, the officers had enough of my shit as I would refuse to shut the fuck up on TeamSpeak. That took a weird twist. That took a weird twist, didn't it? One night, they had enough of my shit as I wouldn't shut the fuck up on TeamSpeak. I took a smoke break after each boss kill, wipe, trash pack. I took a smoke break. Smoke break time for our tank, right? For our tank in this one. The smoke break for our tank. Every boss kill, every wipe, every trash pack, every AFK break, and every time anyone said bio, and every other chance I could get. Literally, the moment I have the opportunity, I am out the door, and I'm having a smoke. Bye. See yous. We got to heroic Beth Tilak after one of the guildies whispered me saying, watch out because some trolling was about to go down. We pulled. I was in charge of drones. I had spiders and broods misdirected to me. Others were taunting my drones, and the other tank let me take over 9 stacks when the boss came down. I got shitty comments and threats of being kicked from the guild. Late that raid, though, I kept my mouth shut and picked up all the loot I could with the will to leave until Raggy. After countless wipes on 25 heroic Raggy, the strength trinket dropped. I won the role. But of course, Loot Council had to get involved and fuck my shit up. The 2 officers that rolled for it said, I've had too much loot recently, and I have not been working hard enough to even get it. I flipped! What the fuck do you mean not working hard? I am top deeps and OP tank. Right? Right? Top deeps and OP tank. Shady K. Shady K forever. Top deeps and OP tank. Yeah, I die every now and then, but it's the fucking healers. They should watch out. 3 of which were officers. A moment of silence brought with laughter of the GM and officers all laughing. G-kick, G-kick. They started a chant. They started a chant. G-kick, G-kick, G-kick. I was kicked from the guild, but I was geared to the teeth at that point, so I didn't care. My best option was to join my friend and a healer with her shaman in 3v3s. So 4.3 hit. And we got 2200s in 3s. The Dragon Soul. Patch 4.3 hit us hard with the new raid and we were guildless. My friend and I decided to join a new guild and actually raid together. We applied to one of the guilds posting a global and got accepted and joined their 25-man normal Dragon Soul progress. My friend and I both noticed how they were bitching about another competing guild getting Realm First Normal and getting really close to Madness Heroic. I talked to my friend about that and decided we should both apply to that guild instead. Daddy can't do his job if you sneak in.
Come on. Stop it. Come on.
Daddy can't do his job if you sneak in. Oh. Hold on. I accidentally deleted my overlay. Oh, what are you gonna do? Whoomp. Right, so joining a new guild. That's better than the guild we were in. We got rejected from our new guild. We got rejected. Dragon Soul lasted an awful long time and I was kicked from my first guild for telling the guild master to go and fuck a duck after him leaving a few racist comments on my culture. My friend and I saw people talking on Global about how members were banned for exploiting game mechanics and the formation of a new guild. My friend Fancy Pants Fancy Pants and me decided to roll the dice one more and apply to this brand new guild. We both got accepted and were filled with joy. One of the officers said our applications were impressive. Except the part that said we had got kicked from 3 other guilds. You put your application that you were kicked from all your previous guilds. You put that... Ballsy. Ballsy is what I'm going to say. Right, so previous guild, this one, kicked. Why? Being annoying. This one, kicked. Just put it in there. Why not? Just list it out. I got kicked from all my previous guilds. Invite me. I'm a good bet. I'm a good bet. He said the part where we got kicked from our previous guilds. But it's cool, he said. After our trial run, we had been picked for Team 2 in the 25-man Dragon Soul normal progression. Team 2, 25-man normal Dragon Soul. Made it. All went as planned, as I made good friends with the guild master, Frankie. Frankie was Team Mexico until one night. Why, he wasn't Team Mexico after one night? I was on TeamSpeak, chatting to my threes team about stuff and shooting the shit while waiting for the queue, when we saw people joining in to hang out and chat with us. Frankie was one of them. All of a sudden we heard him yelling in Spanish, with no one replying. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No. You can all put your own voices in for that. I'm not doing it. Then it started. Frankie began to kick all the officers and the veterans and started messing with people's ranks. When Frankie had cooled down, the council of 5 officers and 5 veterans decided to remove him from the guild. Our new GM was to be a lady. I'm not doing it. Was to be a lady called Katie. A manipulative bitch. Rumours went on about her sending nudes, Katie, to other people in order to get epic BOEs. Nudes for BOEs. Nudes for BOEs. That's how low we've sunk in Team 2. That's how Team 2 rolls. Nudes for BOEs. You can buy them on the auction house. I don't even want your raid loot. I just want the BOEs. I want the BOEs. I didn't care though. I mainly tanked the Dragon Soul and was rarely asked to dupes. For my tanking skills have improved over the course of 3 patches of the kata, like a sir. But Katie, of course, just decided to give me shit anyway. Reforge haste, she would say. Reforge haste is good for blood decays. Youth AMF. Youth AMF. AMF. These were my favourite comments by her. One night, my friend Fancy Pants and I decided to make a 10-man group to raid the Heroic Dragon Soul every week. About 3 hours before the guild's 25-man Heroic run. Should go well. I had no experience in leading, but still tried. The guy seemed friendly and easygoing. Katie decides to log into our TeamSpeak though one time. And direct speech at me. Bloodcomer! Bloodcomer, what are you doing? What are you doing, she said. I replied saying, just chilling with the boys. Okay, I need to prove this. That was the reply. We're chilling with the boys. Challenge Mode boys, unite, right? Challenge Mode boys, forever. Just chilling with the boys. That's all I'm doing. She yelled at me saying, I can't lead raids if I'm not an officer. I said it's a 10-man and the guild raid isn't for 2 hours. She said, I'll show you. I'll show you, she said. And user is disconnected from your channel. Our 10-man group cleared the raid and took a break before the guild's 25-man heroic run. But there was a new rule in the guild. Only mains in the 25-man groups. Only mains. But my DK, Bloodcomer, was my main. When the officer leading the raid started looking for more, I said, MT/DPS off spec. What? What is this? Is this a pug? Is Team 2 quite literally a pug within the guild? I love it. And I got invited. Fancy Pants told me that something feels fishy. And she isn't comfortable with Katie being the new guild master. I told her to chillax and raid for the shits and gigs. Okay? So everybody here, chillax. Because we're raiding for shits and gigs. The group moved to the raid. and started the work. After a few boss pulls, I began to notice that I was, in fact, being trolled. Hunters misdirecting wrong ads to wrong people, and warriors, paladins, druids, death knights taunting every now and then. Every time someone got aggro off a boss or ads, Katie would say, "Bloodcomer! If I only get $1 for every time I heard that word that night. Bloodcomer!" We cleared Blackhorn, the battleship, and those going against me must have been surprised I was holding up a good fight until then. We pulled spine. I parachuted down onto the giant worm. I did my job tanking the amalgamation, but I was overrun. Fucking amalgamations. Nuclear blast. Best fight ever. But I was, oh quick, kill the scrap thing. But I was overrun with the other tank not aggroing the ads. Not getting enough heals. I died. I wiped the raid. And Katie told me to stop tanking and go deeps. I did. We cleared spine and madness with ease. Katie told the officers to look at officer chat. I went to level another DK. And ask an officer for a guild invite for the fast leveling perk. He said no. I logged back to my main to see that I was now without a guild. I talked to my friend Fancy Pants and she said she is quitting WoW that night. I wished her the best of luck and set out to seek a guild to feed my hunger for raiding. I whispered the ex-guild master, Frankie. Frankie. I asked him what he's doing. He told me he's leading a new guild. Guild number 4. This is going to be it. And he was just farming stuff before heroic progression. I asked if I could join. He said yeah. I had to submit an app later to sign up for raids and other guild things. Luckily enough, this guild was a 10-man guild, not 25. So the raid had 15 less idiots smacking around. I was surprised that the 10-man core was in need of a deeps that night. Johnny invited me without a second thought. And I thought, in Spanish, "Johnny, let's get esta mua loca." Says that in the story. Says that in the story. Says it in the story. The group spent a week determined to clear every boss on heroic. I'd already done them on 10 and 25, but the experience was still worth. We raced through the first 6. Morchok, Zonos, Yorsage, Garl, Traxian, Ragnaros, heroic. We managed to kill Spine. We called the raid and decided to come back the next day for madness progression. Except I would become the tank. I was thrilled. I spent the rest of the night doing battlegrounds with the officers and the guild master Frankie, talking about madness heroic hype. Madness heroic is going to be so good, isn't it? It's going to be amazing. What a great fight. What a great fight. The day came. Frankie came online on his pally and told T1 to begin logging mains and TeamSpeak. We spent 4 days progressing and got the kill on the 5th. I felt so proud, even though the guild was about 3 months late on progress. The guild stayed in this state of progression and all the members are happy with it. We took on mists like champions, getting server 3rd on throne. And now we are raiding BRF normal together. We talk about our first end heroic kill together to this day. And our friendship has not stopped growing closer since then. Thank you for listening. And I hope you have a great day. Me gusta! Me gusta! Yeah, I spoke Spanish. I did it. I did it for you people. That brings us exactly to the end of Drama Time. But there's a web show tomorrow. Mr. Ghosty will be side by side here with me, cozy and close, for the more raunchy stories. If I don't see you at the web show, ladies and gents, friends, then I hope you have a wonderful weekend with something you're doing. Okay? Do something cool with your weekend. I'm off to see my boy and have fun and do all those kind of daddy things. Have a great weekend, guys. I hope you had fun. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.